Thanks for joining us on TVC News. The program is This Morning. I'm Ibrahim Sheta, standing in for Yori Folari. So many issues in Nigeria as often, but this time around we'll be looking at political matters, developments in an opposition party which came third in the presidential election, talking about the Labour Party and all of the crises and alignments and realignment in the party. But first, let me quickly tell you about some of the issues coming out from the party, which is the party's Directorate on Mobilization and Integration denied any plan to dump Peter Obis as its presidential candidate ahead of the 2027 election. The Directorate was reacting to a report which hinted that they had reconciled with the Lamidi Apapa-led faction of the party, where they agreed to field another candidate in the 2027 presidential election. And this is quite an interesting development because we're hearing about the Apapa-led faction realigning or reconciling with the Julius Abore's faction, to stage a fight against Peter Obis. We'll be demystifying some of these developments coming up within the Labour Party. So I'll be speaking with Factional Publicity Secretary, Labour Party, Bayomi Arabambi, who is joining me from Abuja studio. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Bayomi Arabambi.
Yeah, good morning, Nigerians, and thank you for having me.
Right. So, as rumors swirl about Peter Obis' candidacy, clarifying his status is crucial. I want us to start from the general to the particular. What's your response to the recent rumors about Peter Obis' candidacy in the 2027 presidential election? And can you confirm his status as the Labour Party's flag bearer?
Well, as at present, the election is still far from being held now in Nigeria. There is no election presently, and I do not see anything bad if any potential candidate, person, signifies his intention to run under the platform of a political party, provided, all the rules and regulations of the party are strictly adhered to. I think that is the most important thing there.
If you look at your party and the gains it recorded in the previous election, especially the presidential election, following the 2023 presidential election, your party has been working to build on its momentum. You have about 35 out of the 360 seats in the House, 8 seats in the Senate, and 1 governor out of the 36 states, but no seats out of the 991 state houses of assembly. But then, how does the Labour Party plan to build on the support it garnered among young Nigerians and the diaspora community in the 2023 presidential election?
No, we have seats in the House of Assembly also in Nigeria. We have so many seats in the House of Assembly in Nigeria. We have in Abia, we have in Anambra. We have in Abia, we have in Lagos. And we have in... I think Plateau, we have in Plateau and Nasarawa, we have assembly there. So as we have assembly, we have National Assembly, we have the Senate. But unfortunately, we are unable to clinch the presidential election, which is a bygone as far as we are concerned. We need to move on to 2027, the general election.
Well, you said it's a bygone, but some of the activities of some Labour Party supporters, doesn't appear like the Labour Party has actually healed from the bruises it got from the last election. Well, let's narrow it down a bit to Edo State for a bit. It's less than 90 days to the off-cycle governorship elections in the state. So the PDP is a dominant party, or let's say the ruling party in the AP, and the APC is looking to take over the state. Ditto your party. How prepared is your party for this election?
Before I would delve into that, you just made an allusion to the fact that you said some of our members have not agreed or they have not come to terms, with this, with the election that I said is a bygone. I wish to make some clarifications. Most of these people you are talking about are not members of our party. They were just sympathizers to the presidential candidate of the party. When you talk about the likes of Joe Ajero, the man who was supposed to be the president of the NSC, but chooses himself, to be a divisive agent in Nigeria. If you talk about Kenneth Okonkwo, Aisha Yusufu, the woman who, decided to disregard the authorities of a 360 member of the the House of Rep and the 109 senators that passes a new national anthem signed into law by a legitimate president, and she still had the audacity to come on here and claim that we have an illegitimate administration. If you have the like of Delefa Moruti, those are not people that should be regarded as Labour Party shifting. They are just a mere member, supporter, sympathizer of the obedient, that came with our being into Labour Party. But as far as Labour Party is concerned, we have, put that one behind us now because election has come and gone. And the president has been declared by INEC as president-elect. And that has been affirmed by the Supreme Court. And as far as I know, the Supreme Court is the last court of competent jurisdiction that when they make their decision, that is the final. You cannot appeal it. Even you can ask them for review, in most cases, but not presidential election, where they have affirmed the presidential candidate of APC as the president of Nigeria. So as we speak, we do not have a president for APC or PDP, but we have a president who is superintending over the Federal Republic of Nigeria in its legitimacy. So anybody, group of persons, parading themselves as Labour Party member are not, that are criticizing the administration via this legitimacy means are not our member. Labour Party is a party registered and known to the law, and we are under the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So wherever they have their own, they are coming with their notions, they had better know, and I'm pleading with all the press in Nigeria and over the world, please stop making reference to them as shifting of Labour Party. We are not going to have such characters, that will go on air and be impugning on the sovereignty of Nigeria in the name of a loss from election. And I also put it to them, have you seen any member of APC that have made reference to President Ahmed Tinubu as illegitimate? Those are the people that came second. So you will know they have a mission. The people you said have not come to terms with the reality of that election are people who are interested in dividing Nigeria. They are trying to wage war against the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They are trying to intimidate the president in order, to cause a violent overthrow of this administration. That is why you see them in clusters coming on here to say we have an illegitimate president. Labour Party wishes to dissociate ourselves from the position taken by these people. We do not have any legitimate president in Nigeria. We have a legitimate president who we are also going to challenge legitimately in 2027. And perhaps, if we have our way, our candidate, we don't have a candidate now, but whosoever imagines our candidate, by that time at least, that person cannot be sworn in. But if we lose it again, my dear brother and sister, life is not going to come to an end. We just have to continue, with the Nigeria. Then regarding Edo State, yes, I wish to tell you that a judgment is coming on Apata from the Federal Court before Justice Omotosho, because the primary that brought in Apata was conducted during the pendency of a restraining order against our chairman then, Julius Aburi. That judgment, that ruling of that court was set aside on March 6th. But the primary of Alhaji Lamidi Ababa, the then acting chairman, was done on the 22nd, while Mr. Julius Aburi conducted his own on the 23rd. So we are before Justice Omotosho now, and we have argued, and argue through our lawyer, Dr. Wesley Dausa, SAN, and Afalai Fashanu, and other. We have been able to argue our point out before Justice Omotosho that the primary that produces him was done in disregard to, the pendency of the FCTI court order. And our candidate in our primary is Barrister Anderson Asemota, while the deputy is Barrister Monday Mawa. So we are debriefing the judiciary that the candidature of our will be set aside because the rule of the court, even we have plethora of judgment of Supreme Court that when an order of the court is made, until when it is set aside, it must be obeyed. You cannot choose which order to obey, which judgment to disobey, because we are not in a banana republic that when a court made an order, some people will just choose, to disrespect it, as it's been done by those characters that I mentioned, that I pleaded with Nigeria not to be making allusion to us, members of Labour Party or chieftain of Labour Party. So as I speak, I want Nigeria to know that that election, is not gone yet, because the man is still going around parading himself as the candidate of Labour Party. But I want Nigeria to know that we have argued a matter before Judge Omotocho of the Federal Court in Abuja, and judgment has been reserved for July 17, and we believe that at the end of the day, truth, will prevail over injustice.
All right, so talking about the issue of those who are still feeling or reeling from the impact of the 2023 election, who you are dissociating the party from, well, they will still want to argue that they are a member of the Labour Party, and definitely they have the right to make their own opinions. But then that's about